Attractiveness is not something you chase. It is something you allow. It rises naturally when you are at peace with yourself, when your thoughts are kind, and when your inner world feels safe. Mental strength is the same. It is not force or struggle. It is the calm, knowing that you can meet life without fear. The first habit is speaking to yourself with kindness. The voice you use inside becomes the energy you carry outside. When your inner dialogue is gentle, your body relaxes, your face softens, your presence feels safe to others. Each time you replace criticism with compassion, you strengthen your mind and soften your heart at the same time. Say to yourself, I am learning, I am enough, I am on my side. This habit alone changes how the world responds to you. The second habit is choosing thoughts that support you. Your mind listens carefully to every thought you repeat. When you expect the worst, your body tightens. When you expect good, your system opens. Mental strength grows when you consciously choose beliefs that make you feel supported by life. You do not need to fight negative thoughts. Simply guide your attention back to what feels calmer, kinder, and more empowering. The third habit is relaxing instead of resisting. True strength lives in relaxation. When you stop forcing outcomes and allow life to move through you, your nervous system settles. This calm becomes attractive. People are drawn to those who feel at ease in their own skin. Each time you breathe deeply and say, I trust the process of life, you train your mind to stay steady even when circumstances change. The fourth habit is taking responsibility without self-blame. Mentally strong people do not punish themselves for the past. They observe, learn, and gently choose again. When you take responsibility with love, you reclaim your power. You stop giving your energy to guilt and start investing it in growth. This creates quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything. The fifth habit is honoring your emotions instead of suppressing them. Feelings are signals, not enemies. When you allow emotions to move through you without judgment, they dissolve naturally. This emotional honesty creates clarity, resilience, and authenticity. People feel your presence as real, grounded, and trustworthy. Strength grows when you allow yourself to feel without fear. The sixth habit is practicing self-approval daily. Attractiveness blooms when you stop seeking permission to be yourself. Each day, choose to approve of who you are becoming. You do not need to wait until you are perfect to love yourself. Approval today creates confidence today. And confidence, rooted in self-acceptance, is deeply magnetic. These habits are not about changing who you are. They are about remembering who you truly are beneath fear, pressure, and old conditioning. As you practice them gently, your mind becomes calmer, your energy becomes warmer, and your presence becomes naturally attractive. You are not meant to struggle your way into strength. You are meant to relax into it. And as you do, life responds. Every word you speak to yourself carries energy. Long before anyone else responds to you, your inner voice has already set the tone for how you feel, how you move, and how you meet the world. This quiet conversation within you is not harmless background noise. It is shaping your confidence, guiding your emotions, and teaching your mind how safe or unsafe it is to exist in the present moment. When your self-talk is harsh, rushed, or critical, your body receives it as a signal of danger. Muscles tighten, breathing becomes shallow, and the nervous system stays alert as if something is about to go wrong. Over time, this creates emotional instability. You may notice sudden waves of anxiety, doubt, or exhaustion without understanding why. The cause is often not the situation itself, but the way you have been speaking to yourself about it. Confidence does not grow from pressure or perfection. It grows from inner safety. When you speak to yourself with reassurance, patience, and encouragement, your system relaxes. You begin to trust your own presence. Instead of constantly questioning your worth, you start to feel grounded in it. This is how emotional stability is built, not by controlling feelings, but by creating an inner environment where feelings are allowed without judgment. Many people believe motivation comes from being tough on themselves. In truth, constant self-criticism weakens confidence. Each negative phrase repeated internally becomes a belief the mind accepts as fact. Over time, the subconscious starts to expect failure, rejection, or disappointment. This expectation then shapes perception, behavior, and emotional reaction. The world feels heavier, not because it is, but because the inner dialogue has made. It's so, when you gently shift your self-talk, something remarkable happens. You stop bracing against life and start participating in it. Saying simple, supportive phrases like "I can handle this" or "I am learning as I go" creates emotional balance. These words do not deny challenges. They remind your mind that challenges are not threats. This sense of inner support strengthens confidence naturally, without force. Emotional stability is closely tied to how you respond to your own mistakes. If every error is met with punishment, shame, or fear, the mind stays tense. But when mistakes are met with understanding, the nervous system stays regulated. You recover faster. You adapt. You move forward without carrying emotional weight that doesn't belong to the present moment. This is resilience in its truest form. Your self-talk also determines how safe you feel expressing yourself. When the inner voice is kind, you are less afraid of being seen. You speak more honestly, listen more openly, and connect more deeply. This authenticity creates a quiet confidence that others feel immediately. It is not loud or performative. It is steady, calm, and grounded. Over time, consistent, compassionate self-talk rewires emotional patterns. Old reactions soften. Triggers lose their intensity. Situations that once felt overwhelming become manageable. This is not because life has changed, but because your relationship with yourself has. The mind learns that it does not need to stay on guard. It can relax into the present. Confidence shaped this way does not disappear under pressure. It does not depend on approval, success, or external validation. It lives inside the tone you use with yourself every day. Emotional stability grows when you stop fighting your inner world and start supporting it. When you choose words that comfort instead of threaten, encourage instead of criticize, you create a foundation of trust within yourself. From this place, confidence becomes natural, emotions become balanced, and your presence becomes calm and attractive. You are no longer trying to prove your worth. You are living from it. The way you speak to yourself shapes the energy you carry into every room, every conversation, and every moment of your life. This inner dialogue is not separate from how others experience you. It quietly determines the tone of your presence. When that dialogue is kind, your entire system relaxes. And from that relaxation comes a calm, attractive energy that cannot be imitated or forced. Kind inner dialogue begins with permission. Permission to be human, to make mistakes, to grow at your own pace. When your inner voice is gentle, your body no longer feels the need to stay guarded. Shoulders soften, breath deepens, and your movements become more natural. People sense this ease immediately. Calm is magnetic because it signals safety, and safety is something every nervous system is drawn toward. When the inner dialogue is harsh, even silence feels tense. You may smile on the outside, but internally you are bracing, correcting, or judging yourself. This creates subtle stress that leaks into posture, tone of voice, and facial expression. Others may not know why, but they feel the resistance. Kind self-talk dissolves this invisible barrier. It allows your natural warmth to surface without effort. Attractive energy is not about appearance or performance. It is about coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and body are aligned in kindness, your presence feels whole. There is no inner battle draining your energy. You are not splitting yourself into acceptable and unacceptable parts. You are simply here, comfortable in your own being. This comfort becomes deeply appealing. A kind inner dialogue also changes how you respond to life. Instead of reacting with fear or defensiveness, you respond with clarity. You listen better. You pause before speaking. You move with intention rather than urgency. This grounded rhythm creates trust, both within yourself and in others. People feel seen and respected in your presence because you are not trying to protect yourself from imagined threats. When you support yourself internally, you stop seeking constant reassurance externally. This independence creates emotional balance. You are not grasping for validation or approval, which allows interactions to feel lighter and more genuine. Calm energy flows naturally when you are no longer trying to extract worth from others. Kindness toward yourself also softens emotional extremes. Instead of suppressing feelings, you allow them to rise and fall without judgment. This emotional flexibility prevents burnout and overwhelm. You remain centered even during uncertainty. Calm does not mean the absence of emotion. It means the ability to hold emotion without being consumed by it. Over time, this inner gentleness rewires your sense of identity. You stop defining yourself by flaws or past experiences. You begin to see yourself as a process, not a problem. This perspective creates patience, both for yourself and for others. Patience is attractive because it communicates confidence without arrogance. Your inner dialogue becomes the emotional atmosphere you live in. When that atmosphere is supportive, your energy feels inviting. People are drawn to you, not because you are trying to impress, but because you are at ease. Calm energy does not demand attention. It allows attention to arrive naturally. As kindness becomes habitual, you notice a shift in how life responds to you. Opportunities feel less forced. Conversations flow more easily. You trust yourself more, and that trust is reflected back to you. The world mirrors the relationship you have with yourself. A kind inner dialogue is not weakness. It is strength that has learned it does not need to fight. From this strength comes calm. From calm comes clarity, and from clarity emerges an attractive energy that is genuine, steady, and quietly powerful. Mental strength begins with awareness, not control. Before you can guide your thoughts, you must first notice them. Thought awareness is the ability to observe what is happening in your mind without immediately reacting, judging, or identifying with it. This simple habit creates space, and in that space, strength is born. Most people live inside their thoughts without realizing it. A thought appears, and instantly it feels true. It triggers emotion, shapes behavior, and influences decisions, all without conscious choice. When thoughts go unquestioned, they quietly run the direction of your life. Awareness interrupts this automatic pattern. The moment you notice a thought, you are no longer completely inside it. You are witnessing it. This witnessing changes everything. Instead of being pulled into fear, doubt, or self-criticism, you begin to see these patterns as temporary mental activity. They are not facts. They are habits. Recognizing this alone reduces their power. The mind relaxes when it realizes it does not need to defend every thought or act on every impulse. Thought awareness strengthens emotional regulation. When you can see a thought forming, you can pause before reacting. That pause allows your nervous system to settle. Instead of responding from panic or anger, you respond from clarity. This ability to pause is a core element of mental resilience. It gives you choice where there was once compulsion. Over time, awareness reveals repeating themes in your thinking. You may notice familiar worries, old beliefs, or inner criticisms appearing in different situations. Rather than fighting these patterns, awareness allows you to meet them with curiosity. Curiosity softens resistance. Resistance strengthens what it tries to suppress, while awareness gently dissolves it. As you become more aware of your thoughts, you naturally begin to choose better feeling ones. This is not forced positivity. It is alignment. When you notice how certain thoughts tighten your body or drain your energy, you stop feeding them. When you notice how supportive thoughts calm you, you return to them more often. Mental strength grows through this gentle discernment. Awareness also separates identity from thought. You stop defining yourself by passing mental events. A thought like "I am not" enough becomes something you notice rather than something you believe. This shift protects your self-worth. You no longer collapse into self-doubt. When challenging thoughts arise, you remain steady, knowing that thoughts come and go, but your value remains. This steadiness builds confidence. You trust yourself to handle internal experiences without being overwhelmed. Life becomes less threatening because your inner world feels manageable. You are no longer afraid of your own mind. This trust is a deep form of strength that does not depend on external stability. Thought awareness also improves focus. When you notice distractions early, you gently bring attention back to the present. This trains the mind to stay where you choose. Focus is not rigid concentration. It is relaxed attention. And relaxed attention is sustainable. It allows productivity without burnout. With consistent awareness, emotional patterns lose their intensity. Triggers become signals rather than threats. You see them arising and choose how to respond. This creates emotional balance. You are not suppressing feelings or indulging them. You are allowing them to pass through without attaching meaning that prolongs suffering. Mental strength built through awareness is quiet and grounded. It does not need to dominate or resist. It observes, understands, and responds. This strength creates inner peace, clarity in decision-making, and emotional flexibility. As thought awareness becomes a daily habit, you experience life with greater ease. You are present rather than preoccupied, calm rather than reactive, strong, not because nothing affects you, but because you understand what is happening within you. And in that understanding, you discover a strength that grows naturally, patiently, and steadily. The nervous system is constantly listening. It listens not only to what is happening around you, but to what you believe about what is happening. Every belief you hold sends a signal of safety or threat, ease or danger. When your beliefs are supportive, your nervous system receives permission to relax. When they are fearful or critical, it stays alert, preparing for problems that may never arrive. Supportive beliefs are not about denying reality. They are about interpreting reality in a way that allows your body and mind to function calmly. A belief such as "I can handle what comes" immediately softens the body. Breathing slows, muscles release, and the mind becomes clearer. This response is not imagined. It is biological. Your system responds to meaning before it responds to facts. Many people live with beliefs they never consciously chose. Ideas like "life is hard," "I must struggle to succeed," or "something will go wrong" quietly shape their internal state. These beliefs keep the nervous system in a constant low-level stress response. Over time, this tension becomes normal even though it drains energy, focus, and emotional stability. When you introduce supportive beliefs, your body feels the difference instantly. A thought like "I am supported by life," or "things are working out for me," signals safety. Safety allows the nervous system to shift out of survival mode. Digestion improves, sleep deepens, and emotional reactions soften. Calm becomes accessible because the body no longer feels the need to stay on guard. Relaxation is not laziness. It is regulation. A regulated nervous system processes information more effectively, responds rather than reacts, and recovers quickly from stress. Supportive beliefs create this regulation by reducing internal conflict. When you stop expecting danger at every turn, your system conserves energy and uses it for creativity, connection, and healing. These beliefs also change how you experience uncertainty. Instead of interpreting the unknown as a threat, you see it as neutral or even friendly. A belief like "I don't need to know everything right now" allows patience to replace anxiety. This patience stabilizes emotions and prevents mental overload. The nervous system thrives when it does not feel rushed. Supportive beliefs strengthen resilience. When challenges arise, the belief "this is temporary" prevents the nervous system from becoming overwhelmed. You may still feel discomfort, but it does not escalate into panic. The body remains flexible rather than rigid. This flexibility is a sign of true strength. As supportive beliefs become habitual, the baseline state of the nervous system changes. Calm is no longer something you chase. It becomes your default. This does not mean life is always easy. It means your internal response is kinder, steadier, and more balanced. You stop bracing for impact and start trusting your capacity to adapt. The nervous system also responds to how you speak about yourself. Beliefs like "I am safe with myself" and "I do not need to earn rest" create profound relaxation. When you no longer pressure yourself internally, your body feels at home. This internal safety allows deeper rest than sleep alone can provide. Over time, supportive beliefs reshape emotional patterns. Fear-based reactions soften. Confidence grows quietly. You feel grounded in situations that once triggered tension. This is not because circumstances have changed, but because your interpretation of them has. A relaxed nervous system enhances every area of life. Relationships feel easier because you are not operating from defense. Decisions feel clearer because your mind is not clouded by stress. Presence becomes natural because you are not mentally escaping imagined threats. Supportive beliefs are gentle, but their impact is powerful. They create an internal environment, where the nervous system can rest, restore, and regulate. From this relaxed state, clarity, confidence, and emotional stability emerge naturally. You are not forcing calm. You are allowing it. Relaxation is often misunderstood. It is mistaken for weakness, avoidance, or a lack of ambition. In truth, relaxation is a profound form of power. It is the ability to remain centered, clear, and present without being ruled by fear or urgency. When you are relaxed, your energy is no longer scattered. It becomes focused, intentional, and effective. True power does not come from tension. Tension drains strength. A tense mind reacts quickly but rarely wisely. A tense body exhausts itself trying to control outcomes. Relaxation, on the other hand, allows intelligence to flow naturally. When the body is at ease, the mind becomes more receptive. You think more clearly, perceive more accurately, and respond rather than react. Relaxation signals safety to the nervous system. Safety allows your system to shift out of survival mode and into a state where creativity, intuition, and problem-solving thrive. This is why your best ideas often arrive when you are calm, not when you are forcing solutions. Power arises when you allow space for insight instead of pressure. Many people equate control with strength. They believe constant effort is required to hold life together. This belief keeps the body in a state of chronic stress. Over time, stress dulls awareness and narrows perspective. Relaxity unloosens this grip. It restores flexibility. A relaxed system adapts more easily because it is not locked into one rigid response. When you relax, you trust your capacity to handle what arises. This trust is powerful. It removes the need to anticipate every problem or defend against imagined threats. You are no longer trying to manage life from fear. You are meeting it from presence. Presence carries authority without force. Relaxation also strengthens emotional resilience. When emotions arise, a relaxed state allows them to move through without overwhelming you. You do not suppress or dramatize them. You allow them. This allowance prevents emotional buildup and burnout. Emotional power comes from the ability to feel without being consumed. In relationships, relaxation creates magnetic confidence. You are not trying to impress, convince, or protect yourself. You listen deeply and speak honestly. This grounded presence earns respect naturally. Others feel safe and understood around you because you are not operating from tension or insecurity. Relaxation improves decision-making. When you are calm, you are less influenced by fear-based thinking. You can sense what aligns with you instead of reacting to pressure. This clarity saves time and energy. True power is knowing when to act and when to wait. A relaxed body conserves energy. Instead of wasting strength on resistance, it uses energy efficiently. This efficiency allows sustained effort without exhaustion. Athletes, performers, and leaders understand this instinctively. Power flows when tension releases. Relaxation does not mean disengagement. It means engagement without strain. You remain fully present while letting go of unnecessary effort. This balance creates endurance. You can move through challenges with steadiness rather than force. As relaxation becomes a habit, your baseline state changes. You stop living in urgency. You stop equating struggle with progress. You begin to trust timing, intuition, and natural rhythm. This trust deepens self-confidence. You no longer feel the need to rush or prove. Relaxation also enhances awareness. When the mind is not racing, perception sharpens. You notice subtle cues, opportunities, and shifts that tension would have masked. This awareness gives you an advantage. You are responding to what is actually happening, not what you fear might happen. True power is quiet. It does not need to announce itself. It is felt through calm presence, clear boundaries, and steady action. Relaxation cultivates this power by aligning body, mind, and emotion. When you relax, you are not giving up control. You are choosing a higher form of control rooted in trust, clarity, and inner stability. From this place, your actions are more effective, your energy more attractive, and your strength more sustainable. When you trust life, something within you softens. The constant effort to predict, control, or defend begins to loosen its grip. This inner shift may say, "I'm subtle, but its effects are profound." Trust creates an emotional openness that changes the way your energy moves through the world. From this openness, inner magnetism naturally emerges. Inner magnetism is not something you manufacture. It is not a performance or a technique. It is the quiet pull created when your inner world feels safe, aligned, and at ease. Trusting life signals to your nervous system that you are supported, even when outcomes are uncertain. This sense of support allows you to relax into the present moment, and relaxation makes your present more inviting. When you do not trust life, much of your energy is spent bracing for impact. You anticipate disappointment, prepare for loss, and hold yourself tight. This tension creates an invisible barrier between you and others. Even with good intentions, guarded energy feels closed. Trust dissolves this barrier. It allows your energy to flow outward instead of inward. Trusting life does not mean believing everything will go exactly as planned. It means believing that you can meet whatever unfolds with clarity and resilience. This belief removes desperation from your actions. You stop pushing for outcomes to validate your worth. Instead, you move with patience and confidence. This non-attachment is deeply attractive. When trust replaces fear, your body language changes. Movements slow down. Breathing deepens. Your eyes soften. People sense this ease without needing words. They feel comfortable around you because, say, your presence does not carry urgency or pressure. Comfort is magnetic. It invites connection and openness. Trust also affects how you communicate. When you trust life, you do not rush to explain yourself or prove your value. You speak from clarity rather than defense. Silence no longer feels threatening. This grounded communication carries weight. People listen more closely when words come from calm certainty. As trust deepens, you become more receptive. You notice opportunities instead of obsessing over obstacles. You allow support instead of insisting on doing everything alone. This receptivity draws experiences and relationships toward you. Magnetism grows when you are open to receive. Inner magnetism is strengthened by emotional stability. Trust reduces emotional volatility by creating a stable inner reference point. Instead of reacting strongly to every shift, you remain anchored. This steadiness allows others to feel safe leaning into your presence. Safety is one of the strongest attractors there is. Trusting life also frees you from constant comparison. When you believe your path is unfolding in its own timing, you stop measuring yourself against others. This self-assurance radiates confidence without arrogance. Confidence rooted in trust feels natural and unforced, which makes it appealing. Over time, trust reshapes your relationship with uncertainty. The unknown becomes a space of possibility rather than threat. Curiosity replaces anxiety. This curiosity adds lightness to your energy. You are no longer weighed down by imagined futures. You are available for what is happening now. Magnetism grows when your actions are aligned rather than reactive. Trust allows you to act when it feels right and pause when it does not. This alignment creates coherence between your thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Coherence is felt as authenticity, and authenticity draws people in. When you trust life, you also trust yourself. You trust your intuition, your timing, and your capacity to adapt. This self-trust radiates outward. Others feel it and respond with confidence in you. Opportunities arise more easily because you are not forcing them. Inner magnetism is the natural result of trust. It is the warmth of presence, the ease of being, and the quiet assurance that you are supported. As you continue to trust, your energy becomes lighter, clearer, and more inviting. Life responds not because you demand it, but because you are open to it.